Good afternoon from Papua New Guinea. We're coming to you from the city of Port Moresby, where I'm located. And we bring greetings to you all over the world. If you're joining us from wherever you are, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is our Papua New Guinea OnPassive webinar. This afternoon, I would like to just introduce the topic for discussion. Before I start that, my name is David Bakau. I'm one of the Leadership Council members of OnPassive, representing Papua New Guinea here in the country. I have my colleagues, Veronica Wang. She's unfortunately not on at the moment. She's having connection problems. We have Nancy Yangavi, one of our leaders here. And a couple of our leaders will be joining us. However, if you are here with me, I just want to welcome all of you. And the topic for this webinar today will be discussing OBLESS Papua New Guinea. And OBLESS is a platform that is closer to our CEO's heart. And we have all resonated with that. And we are taking it on board wherever we are across the globe. And we want to join hands together and use the platform to lift up humanity wherever we are. So this afternoon's subject will be discussing OBLESS and what is surrounding the platform, what is done on the platform, so that all of us here, especially in Papua New Guinea, can understand what is the platform for, so that we can be able to be prepared and look forward to our contributions on the platform to support our communities and lift up humanity overall. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Marty Digamo, our Leadership Council. He's the person who introduced me to OnPassive in 2019. And it has been a journey, and it's an exciting journey. I can say that, we have all grown in this business, learned a lot together, and the business is coming to a stage where we will be launching to the world, and we are already advertising in Dubai and across the world. So thank you, Marty, my brother from another mother. Thank you. Come on and welcome our speaker tonight.
Thank you, David. Hello, Papua New Guinea and the rest of the family here. First thing I want to say is we all know that Friday we did another big marketing extravaganza in Dubai. You saw the lights going up the Burj Khalifa and a little bit of a new message. A lot of it was about O founders and actually letting people in the world know that there still is a chance to be a founder, and founders are joining from that. That will carry on for a long, long time. It will be a chain reaction. They figure there's 20,000 people there every day when they do that show, and all of them, if you look, are taking pictures and sending them home. So it will cause a chain reaction, a leverage that we've never seen. Most companies haven't seen. In fact, what people need to know is when those people around watching that, they're not just, average people. Some of them are CEOs. Some of them are very powerful people in business, because that's where they go to do business, and that's where they go to vacation. So it's really spreading big. You couldn't do a bigger marketing thing anywhere else on the planet, in my opinion.
In progress.
So we're very fortunate to be involved with a man that is unbelievable, and he's got a lot of nerve and a lot of chutzpah, they would say, to take on a challenge like this, where putting 1,200,000 people on his shoulders and making a platform like has never been seen by mankind. It's that simple. He's building something that we've never seen, and we're very fortunate to be part of it. So, and next Saturday, instead of Friday, next Saturday would be the next big event. The reason it's on Saturday is it's the end of Ramadan. It's the biggest day with the biggest group of people, uh, maybe double what they had Friday. And it'll be a big impact and a really nice way to leave that holiday with our information shooting up that Burj Khalifa. And I've heard from people that are there, people that aren't in OnPassive saying, "Oh my gosh, OnPassive is everywhere." So it's a big deal. It really is, and it's going to pay off. A lot of things don't happen in 1 second. This is branding. When OnPassive launches to the world, people are going to be hungry to get what we have. I'm telling you right now. And how you do that is you brand, and nobody brands better than Ash Mipara. So anyway, about OBLESS, as you all know, Chris was focusing on OBLESS, mainly people that live in the streets, but really in general, all of this runs together. A lot of these things, if you can fix one or two problems, you actually fix many problems, just like education or health or getting people off the street. In most cases, people are not on the street because they want to be. So it's a big task. And Chris has been inviting people to the show. And a lot of people come in and have many, many ideas, many, many products that can help my family in Papua New Guinea and help people all over the world. But I was worried that we got to be careful that I want to make sure Ash knows what's going on. He's been traveling. We don't know what he has or what he has invented that can go along with anything that we might add. I think the leverage of the company and Mr. Mupara can get a much better deal on things. If best way that I could say it, I was really happy that Nancy came in knowing what her country needs, and she put a perspective on it and spoken better than I ever could have. In fact, I was going to try to make some kind of speech, and thank God Nancy did it because it was so much clearer. And coming from somebody that sees these problems daily, it was a big deal to say, okay, yeah, we need that stuff right now. But I think if we do it right, it will be better in the long run. I don't just want to do something small. We want to do something big and then bigger and bigger and bigger and have the foundation of OnPassive and the full foundation of OBLESS, not just a couple of guys selling something. And I was worried about that. That's all. And a lot of us were, including Chris. We wanted to be careful. We're not saying it was a bad thing or a good thing, but we've come this far with Mr. Mufar, and I think we should finish the rest of the journey with him and make sure we do the right thing. Because I think we know that the cornerstone of OnPassive is OBLESS. We know that. And he could have done this all by himself. But one day he told me, while I'm out feeding the hungry and giving them water, I thought, man, if I could bless enough people where money was no object and they could do what I'm doing, what could 1 million people do if they were doing what I was doing? How many people could they affect? So it made sense, and I understand exactly what he's saying. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Chris because he ran a very good show. He's had a couple in a row, and I really want. I know the hours are strange and your connection is horrible, but anytime Papua New Guinea can be in these webinars, try to make it because you have a big impact, and it matters to me what's being said from Papua New Guinea. I'll tell you that right now. So anyway, here's Chris.
Thank you, Marty. David Baku, my beautiful sister Nancy, and the rest of the Papua New Guineans that are on here. I do want to say this. The other day, Jocelyn from PNG sent me a really cool video. I believe her husband drilled and they got some spring water, and she was sharing videos, and that was a blessing as far as me seeing, wow, how great is that? And you're right. OBLESS is a platform, and a lot of people, we want everyone involved in OBLESS, especially for PNG. Most of you know, my emotions ran high when I started watching PNG. And I promised with my blood that I'm going to be there with a lot of other founders to help build up PNG. We know PNG needs roads. We know they need more medical facilities. And that's my promise to David and everyone that lives there, that I'm going to do whatever it takes to get that done, along with engineer Mike jumped in on that, and a lot of you jumped in on that. So how do we OBLESS Papua New Guinea? All right. Two things on my plate. Of course, it's homeless, but Papua New Guinea is still up number one. What can we do in Papua New Guinea for OBLESS? Number one, we've got, 1 million, almost 300,000 founders. All right. So this is what I like to tell everyone. With that many people, and we say this all the time, if everyone threw $1, if David Bacall sends me a map that needs a road built from there, from A to Z, I'm going to tell you what, we're going to do it through OBLESS. When I've seen people in Papua New Guinea over the last 7 months pass away because they didn't have a road or a hospital close to them, you better believe we're going to build hospitals. This is what OBLESS is about. OBLESS is about everything, but everyone knows, and I think everyone feels the same thing about PNG. Where they came from, a lot of people didn't even know where PNG was. I didn't, but I was blown away when I heard the stories. And everyone knows I love David Bacall. Nancy is the one, honestly, that woke me up to reality. And I can never thank her enough for that. All right. But what needs to be done in PNG for OBLESS is a lot of things. All right. When I hear people that have passed away because they can't get to a facility, that really breaks my heart. When I hear that they have to rely on rainwater, all right, to get the drinking water, and they're surrounded by an ocean and they struggle, but I never see them stop or give up. Okay. So what can we do with OBLESS to build up PNG? Number one, you got to promise to yourself that just about any OBLESS project that comes up, you got to get involved. What does that mean? You might have to throw $1 in there. All right. And I know all over the world, $1 is a lot of money right now. But when we launch to the world, that $1 might not be anything to you. So this is the masses that we're dealing with here. If Nancy called me and said, Chris, we need a hospital in this part of Papua New Guinea, doctors, nurses, it's going to be $1 million. All right. Which is just a hypothetical number right now. Everyone throws $2 in. All right. My goal is every OBLESS, I want to go over the amount they need. So let's just say $1 million. I want to get to the $2 million mark, because you never know what's going to happen when you're building these things, these roads, these hospitals. Other things come into play. Insurances. Yep, we're going to pay companies. We will be paying companies through OBLESS to get Papua New Guinea those hospitals and those roads. All right. But David, what are some of the ideas that you'd like to see, since you live there, and Nancy, or any other Papua New Guinea on here? What do you guys really, really want over there through OBLESS? What do you think could happen over there through OBLESS?
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for asking that question. I just fill us in on what we have done as some co-leaders here in the country. We have come up with a decision to register a OBLESS PNG Foundation as a legal entity and a structure, so that whatever is collected or donated to this platform will be properly accounted for and managed. And we have decided to have a national OBLESS PNG Foundation, and it will have regional offices. We have four regions in the country. We have the Highlands region, the Momase, which is the lower coastal region. And then we have the Southern Tip, we call it the Southern region. And we have the New Guinea Islands region, which is the islands forming the country. So we have these four regions. So we have appointed interim leaders to just take charge and kickstart things and get the structure going. So from that four regions, we have 22 provinces in the country that make up the nation. So we have planned that we will have 22 offices in each respective provinces, so that every project or every community need that is seen as a community and a national project can be properly documented and submitted through the provinces, and then it comes to the region and come up to the main national body, where we will be able to screen and then disseminate or distribute the funds that is collected. That is not stopping the individual founder to go ahead and do their own, fundraising if they have a special need and they need to do that. What we are doing here is basically a national movement. It's not, we're not talking about the individual needs. We're talking about the national movement where the country is in need of, various communities in the country in need of major things like hospitals, school, drinking water, bringing power, electrification into the communities. So we are focusing on the major things. The little things that belongs to the individual founder, they can do that. But for the major things, we'd like to structure a legal entity properly, so that whatever is collected or donated through the platform, we are accountable to these things and being responsible, so that there is management in place who can audit the funds and pay the contractors who are going to do the work for us. So in that manner, we will be able to create employment for our children coming out from the schools. So at this stage, this is the broad idea that we have thrown around within our leadership here. We are now sharing it in the public, so other founders will be able to hear this. But this is the main idea. We are working on the legal entity. Veronica Wang she's the lawyer, so she's basically in charge of getting together a constitution put in place and guidelines of the foundation, so that we can be able to manage these things. So that's coming from the national sort of a group that we are involved in. And the individual projects, like Nancy came on the webinar and she mentioned, for the humanitarian part of it, I see water and health, and electrification, power. I think these three, when we address it, that will bring the condition of the individual people living in the rural areas, even in the cities, the suburbs, that can be lifted. In Papua New Guinea, most of the people are coming into the towns because they are not getting the services in the villages. That's why they're drawing into the towns, and they're living on the fringes of the town and creating settlements. And that's where most of the problems are. But looking at this whole thing, I'm grateful and I'm thankful to God and Ash for this, for creating this platform, so that once we start to bring the services into the villages, it will bring those people back into the villages. If we create a comfortable living for them in the villages, so they don't need to come into the towns to look for these services. The services are right there in the villages. You have power there, you have water there, you have health facilities there. They can then just stay there, and then they can be economically, our people are hardworking, they're creative, but those basic things cause them to try and get out of the village and go and look for the life in town. So that's where I'll share. Maybe Nancy can fill in on, come in and share, but thank you.
Can we bring Veronica to join the panel? Veronica and Joanna Kilembe, but she's going by the name of Jo, J-O-H Kilembe. Bring them on the panel, and Brenda Urambari. Bring them on the panel because these are people that are, Joanna is involved with education in PNG, so she's in a better position to speak about the needs that are, the need for quality education in PNG. And we have Academy and all these services that can come and enhance education in PNG. And I'll just let Vero to speak first as a courtesy of, respect to our leaders. So Vero, please come on and you go ahead of us. And then later we can also have Brenda. She was doing with in Papua New Guinea, we have this system that in different districts and provinces, we create, it's called cooperative society. And so Brenda is involved in that, and she's trying to bring, OBLESS to go into that kind of structural community services. So she's in a better position to speak as well. So if they're already in the panel, I would just let them speak first. Thank you.
They are in, Nancy.
Thank you. Vero, maybe Vero can speak first, and then Brenda and Joanna, and then I can add a little bit later on.
Hi, hello everyone. I just got in to hear David. I don't know what the previous discussion was, but we've got a blackout, so I waited for the power to come on and I've just plugged in. That's how I'm in the meeting. Yes, we had a discussion, and David has outlined the general structure that we want to have in place. The foundation is basically to look at the projects that would, from a national perspective, and as David said, it's generally to capture most of the projects. Individual proposals will be done and placed on the PNG OBLESS platform. And the idea is that any funding that comes in, the funds and contributions that go in for each particular project will then be assigned and released to the project. But the OBLESS, the PNG OBLESS Foundation will provide a will supervise the project and provide in terms of project follow-ups and accountability for the funds that are being utilized for the project. That'll be done by the OBLESS entity or the structure, the groups and the committees that we will form. We're getting together the legal structure to get it properly recognized as such. So it comes under a charitable organization and does not attract any taxation. So those are some of the legal and tax issues that we'll be looking at. But apart from that, it does not prevent individuals, founders who have projects that they would like to do for their own communities and rural areas where they are from. So this will go hand in hand with what individuals are going to do. At this point in time, we don't know what the guidelines are for OBLESS. We're waiting for the guidelines to come in, and then based on that, then we will see how we can go about using the guidelines from the OBLESS platform itself to then break it down and apply it to our our local needs and requirements. So that's the overall picture. We also have cooperatives that are operating in PNG. How we bring that into the OBLESS platform and how we connect them so that it works, it also fits into the cooperative societies, will be something that we will also look into going forward. So there are a number of ways I think we can do this, and the future looks bright. It's also very challenging, but this is where I think we will see many people, many founders rise to the occasion, and they will rise up like what Marty Digamo says, the cream will rise to the top. So we will see many founders who will find their calling in OBLESS, and they will be instrumental in delivering basic needs and services to our people. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited for what OBLESS holds for PNG. Thank you.
David, if I might say something, guys, I want you to pay real close attention when once again PNG is ahead of the game. When a lot of you have sent me thousands literally of ideas, or you found a property, they're teaching you something real important right now. Planning, checking out what the laws are. There's all kind of things you have to look into it. So Veronica, Nancy, David, thank you for once again waking people up and showing how it's done. David, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Yes. Okay. As we will, thank you, Veronica, for that. We will go to Brenda. Brenda, she works in the New Guinea Islands. She was attached to a World Bank project, and recently her contract with that project has finished, and she's now working on, waiting on OnPassive to launch so that she can get stuck into her dream and goals that she's planned for. But she's one of our leaders in the New Guinea Islands, and we have brought her on to oversee projects in the region, and being involved with the community projects. She has some experience there. She can share her bit, and being on the ground herself and getting involved. Thank you, Brenda. If you're there, you can come on and speak.
Hello. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
go
we
ahead.
can hear you. Yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
Hi. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, everyone. It's always a pleasure seeing you guys joining us on our webinar and encouraging us, motivating us. It always inspires us. Thank you so much for your time, wherever you are, for making time available to be here with us. As already being said by Nancy and David, I've had some 15 plus years experience with the donor funded projects. Like, despite the donors giving money, the government is still struggling, to get the services down to the beneficiaries or the people back in the very remotest part of Papua New Guinea is always a challenge in the country itself, given the geographical location and stuff like that. So being involved and going out to the field and trying to get to the very household that we are targeting, it's very, very challenging with the road conditions and everything else involved. So I myself has initiated a group back in 2019 before joining OnPassive. I joined OnPassive in September of 2020. I see that the only way that we can get people involved and maybe to bring change, empower people, is by getting them in groups. Could be a business group or a cooperative, because an association could be, it's bigger than a business group or a cooperative. And I see cooperative is a good module, because everything that is done is very transparent, where all the people in the group or shareholders in the group has a say in it. So I've encouraged a lot of people to register, get together as a group and register with the Department of Commerce and Industry and get a certificate and maybe try, knocking on government doors to get some funding and stuff like that. But when I came to know OnPassive, I said, wow, this is it. I mean, God's timing is always perfect in everything that we do. So I think David already said, like, I've worked with this project for 10 years in the province that where I'm living. And I still see that despite us, the World Bank giving funding, it's actually a loan to the PNG government. The need is still there. So what can we do, or how can we do to, like we are discussing poverty eradication here, but I'm so thankful for Ash for what that initiative to eradicate poverty through OBLESS. And I said, so this is it, and this is how we're gonna, and given my experience as to how we're going to approach this situation, and how we're gonna get this funding or the services or goods and services and even works down to the very remotest places, I'm sure we can do it here. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Megan Platt, question.
Yes.
Please.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, online,
Go ahead.
sorry, I'm going to
Nancy.
say something in Pidgin to our people first. Okay, online blame time you talk too long. You make him clear, you yet lost one example something, but you make him, when you can project, you mean like come up the community, blow you mean. At the end, you can throw the whole general 6,000 country and medium this like kind of something stuff. Now you make can talk long, but time you come on, you put him out to some thing or when something you like looking. Please ask him question of them. Papua New Guinea, you like looking when something by come up. Inside the country, but when something you meet that. Now you need plan lo making. Okay, now you need talk finish the structure. You mean now when them call foundation. You mean looking more blessed come inside. But when something through, you mean like come up inside the country. So time you talk of you. Example of them you join you come inside education side. So from example kind thinking of them side education. Now what Brenda I mean like by you explain him lo you mean can lo like corporate society yeah. And when I'm kind society na structure belong na dreamal belong when I'm putting little any more sample putting sample color come inside na giving big plastic instead lo just kind of some structure to solve you can coordinate in work or this kind but when I'm sample project where you look in the province where you like him or some OBLESS by must come inside na fund him or this kind of some throw my sample idea come out so only looking more some yeah you mean no to solve structure but in actually you mean that something thinking and stuff. So me looking back and come back later. So I'd like for Brenda to explain a little bit more to us about the cooperative society because it's really a very powerful system. So just explain to our international founders give them a little bit more about this system and how it works and how the actual communities and the people and the kind of benefits that you want to bring, the kind of projects that can be started in those kind of groups. So explain just a little bit to give a, elaborate more and give more value to what you are talking. Thank you, sister.
Okay, sure. Maybe I was too broad earlier on. Okay, thank you, Nancy, for that. I'm just gonna talk from where I am living in right now, the community that I live. I see there's a lot of law and order issues in the community that I live. The youths, it seems, the parents couldn't afford to send their kids to school. So a lot of youths, the boys especially, are hanging out, doing nothing. And they ended up being involved in, all these social problems, law and order problems. Police are shooting them down and killing them. There's always like everyday people are dying, especially the youths in this community. And the mothers every day, they are struggling, fetching water, going down where they are staying, there's no water. So they had to walk some miles to carry 20 liters or 10 liters of container, could be 10 or 5 liters. They go and fetch water for their family. And I've gathered a lot of women in the community, and I've talked to them. I said, look, this is what we need to do, but they haven't responded back to me. And my aim is I want to empower women and youth. And empowerment is a broader term on its own as well. Like there are other things that come in line when we talk about empower women, and then you have the youths as well. So what I feel is like we get them in a group, we go to the department, we register, we get we have to comply with the business laws of Papua New Guinea. So that's what I meant by registering through civil society. And then we can come together and brainstorm. And I see the need, but I want to hear from the women themselves. What are their needs as well? There are other opportunities that we can get them involved, but at the end of the day, they need money to support them to, every day they are living as well. They got to fix their household before they can come out and join the training that we're going to run and stuff like that. So otherwise, like if they don't have funds to support their family, they will have to go and try to, sell something to make ends meet. And then that will kind of occupy their time to come and participate in the training that we will run. So yeah, there's need.
I think she's having network problem there. Brenda, are you still on? Okay, she's already knocked off. Okay, I see Joe Rambari coming on. Joe is the elder brother of Brenda. So Joe, you have your hand up. You can speak.
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning, good
you.
evening. Okay, all of you can hear me now. Good morning, good evening, good night, Chris Johnson and the other International Leadership Council members. I have my what we say ward member is a counselor to our community, so I have something to speak behalf of this OBLESS. So this is what we've been suggesting about it. So he's going to speak behalf of me as a leader in the community. So I'll leave it to him. He's a founder with all his families, entire family, all of them, around about 8-9 of them. So he's a leader in the community. So I want him to say something behalf of OBLESS. I'm so excited. Thank you. He's going to speak behalf of me.
Good afternoon, David. David, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, me Harim, you call him name you. Call him name you and introduce you.
Yes, David, my name is Felix Sharma. I'm a ward councillor. I'm a ward councillor in my community, but my profession is a cocoa man, a cocoa farmer. I served in the community when I finished my job as a military man. I came home and I stayed in the village for 50 years, and I go for farming, especially a cocoa project. But me and Mr. Joe, our community, we have about 40 to 50 members in OnPassive. So we decided that we have, in our community, like what Brenda said, she talk about, cooperative society and company. That we talk about, economic side. But we are not talking about the health of the people that we are living in the community. We have disability here in the village also. So we have widows here in the village also. So those are the struggling people in the community. So what we decide, me and Joe, we decide with our members here, we decide to build a center that we can, get these people together, and we keep them in one place so we can assist them with whatever the funds comes to OBLESS. That's what we decided with our members here in the community. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Felix. Thank you, Felix, for that. Yes, these are individual needs or community needs within the respective areas there where founders are located, so they can identify their own situations, own projects that they want to address. So thank you, Felix, for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
So if we have Joanna Kilembe there, she can come on. Joanna, you're here? Joe? You can unmute and speak. Give us your perspective on the education side in terms of schooling, classrooms. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, Joanna, go ahead. Unmute. You can speak.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm actually proud to be a part of the Omorobe Kumul OnPassive. With the OBLESS platform, we had done a lot of discussions when Luke Mukisa, Sheila Harao, and the late Fred Lavaki. And we have seen, what we did was we projected needs in our community in Morobe, and we saw that there were a lot of needs, like Marty had spoken about, and David, of course, would know. There are a lot of needs in our community, but when we came together and registered Omorobe Kumul OnPassive, we talked about the need for health, especially in Morobe. Morobe looks after the National Cancer Unit, which is not functioning well. We have big equipment there that are not even operable. And so Omorobe Kumul OnPassive team had decided that we should register the cancer department in Engau and somehow project funds so that when OBLESS platform came on, we would look at this project for the nation, because the whole of Papua New Guinea, the 22 provinces, they send patients into Ley to get treatment, but the treatment right now is non-existent. We don't have a specialist doctor that is full-time here. So most of the patients that are referred to Ley actually get sent back to their provinces and centers, and just with a pat on the back saying, you know, you can go back and whatever happens, happens. So we have a careless attitude where it comes to cancer and looking after cancer patients in Papua New Guinea. So that's number one, the focus for Omorobe Kumul when the when OBLESS comes on board. Number two, for me, I'm an avid educationist, and I have seen a real need to have quality education given to our people in their villages, in their communities. Within Ley City, we have an influx of local people who are seeking a better life. And when they come into the city, Ley is the second biggest city in Papua New Guinea. But it has a lot of challenges with growing settlement, with people from villages coming in. So as an educationist, I see the need to have quality education. So apart from Omorobe Kumul OnPassive, which is the bigger body in our province that looks at, is looking at fundraising to help our hospital staff and especially our cancer unit. For me personally, is educating our young people, not only K to 12, I have experience with as principal of schools to look after children and give them good quality education from K to 12, but also upskilling youths and women in our community. A lot of them are illiterate and even illiterate in skills. And so when I caught the vision of OBLESS, my personal aim is to have schools that go out to the bulk of our people in Papua New Guinea, go out to the community and to the villages, have bush schools that give our people quality. Some of our children walk 1.5 to 2 hours to the nearest school. That should not be the case. And so when talking about education, I have had experience of building schools in a couple of remote areas, teaching them English, and just helping the children, giving them a chance by giving them really good foundation, solid foundation at the elementary level. So what will I do with a platform like OBLESS? I would use OBLESS as a vehicle to take education to the remotest area and establish not just short-term, but long-term community centers that teach children during the day, have centers of learning and creativity that teach children possibly from 8 to 12, and then have skill training for youth in the afternoon, and even teach our women folk basic literacy programs. For me, I have started a couple of bush schools within the community. There's one out at Nadzak, which is close to the soon to be open international airport here in Leh. Now, these are people who have migrated and they've settled, and they're putting their children into schools. Some of them have put children into schools, but a lot of them cannot really afford to put their children into schools and good schools. So the idea is to have bush schools. I've partnered with a ministry in Australia that are helping me to sponsor these children and give them good quality education. And this kicks off in June, July this year. But if we would have extend that to other communities and just keep these people, keep our people within their villages, within their communities, and give them the education. If someone else would come in with a health component, that would be so great. But keep the people there and then upskill them and get them to start off and have their project, or encourage them to build their local economy and not venture into towns and cities. So that's the bigger overarching vision, my personal vision. But I see that through the OBLESS platform, we can do so much for our people and raising our own leaders, young people within the town and cities to go back out and educate our people, or maybe use a platform like OBLESS. And for someone like me, if, I've traveled a lot and I walk these distances in the remote Papua New Guinea. I'm at a place where my dream is to just be in Leh and yet broadcast or have a school that I can pull in an audience all across Papua New Guinea in the remotest area to lectures, and even invite international lectures to teach our people and upskill them. That would be wonderful. Thank you. I think I'm talking too much, but thank you, everyone. Thank you to our international guests for sitting in, and for our fellow Papua New Guineans. With OBLESS, let's dream community. Our services have been from a stiff top down. If we're going to correct and be the correction to corruption for our country, let's turn it like a funnel where we as leaders are at the bottom, and we open it up and bless our people, that they are the ones that are receiving quality. So good plavinun olgeta, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. And possibly maybe it's good morning and good evening to a few of our guests, but I'm so glad that
Thank you, Joanna. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you very much. Okay, we have Nancy. You want to go on?
No, guys, give him chance. Lo, Stephen, me looking. Stephen is up. Stephen Dua, no, would you like
Stephen?
say something?
Yes.
Stephen.
Stephen Dua, you there?
And also Auntie Joanna Kitika is there as well, so if she wants to say something.
Yes, Joanna, and if Emily is there or Mary Caro is there, they can also speak after that. Stephen, you stop. You can unmute Natoto. Okay, Joanna Kitika, you come on, and then Stephen can come on after Joanna.
Thank you for giving me that chance. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good day to everyone on board. I'm not coming on video. I'm a little bit down with flu, so I'm just going to just have the voice coming on talking. Thank you for giving me the chance to talk. Yes, I have had a program back then when I was back in my province. I was working. I had a program all taken up by myself, undercover with a church group that I was going to having fellowship with them. I saw a lot of young people, drug addicts in town. I live in town and go to work in one of the districts. And the weekends I come home back into town and I see a lot of drug addicts there. And they're all young people, men and women, girls and boys. They turn into drugs, they turn into unethical behaviors, activities in town. And I worked with a pastor that I go to the church with, and I tried to provide a meal, 2 meals in a fortnight from the pay that I got. And I started this organization. I call it a Second Chance Foundation. And I worked with the pastor to provide the meals for them. And then we started asking them why they were taking drugs and why they were, because we provided them the food. They felt comfortable and they felt accepted and they felt free to talk to us. And we found out a lot that most of those children and people who were on the street taking drugs and doing things that were not worth doing, because there was always a root cause behind it, and it was either orphans or children who could not further their education because their parents could not afford it, something of that sort. So then we tried to counsel them and provide them food and told them that, there's always a chance. While you're still breathing, you can make a difference. And that program, I got sick myself and I had to be transferred to the nation's capital to get treated myself. That program came to a standstill. And whilst I was here in Mosby, I thank God that David Bakau one time called me and said, "Sister, I need to introduce you to something and you need to come and I'll talk to you." So I ended up meeting him in one of the cafes, coffee shop, and then he introduced me OnPassive. I didn't understand anything about OnPassive, but that time, I just, when he explained, he tried to explain to me, I couldn't catch up with what he was trying to tell me. I just signed in, registered blindly without even understanding what it was all about. But as I traveled through the journey of OnPassive, I'm so grateful that I'm a founder, and I'm thankful to God for a man like Asma Farah, appointed by God at a time like this to uplift humanity. And I'm so blessed to be a founder. And with that, I registered myself to be a founder, and then I registered this organization that I called Second Chance Foundation back home. When I was here, I registered with the IRCE, hoping to get and I registered with the OnPassive as a OBLESS, Second Chance Foundation. And that's a founder position. And my vision for that one was to eliminate the drug addicts in town and give them a better chance to find out what they would like to have in their lives. Maybe I would take them, direct them back to their villages, their communities, and build them a house, give them little funding to start up something for them so that they can move on with life. That's the whole idea I had to open up this, register the Second Chance Foundation with the OnPassive as a founder position. And I'm thankful for that. And I thank our leaders here, David and Veronica and Nancy, who have come up with this idea of having a OBLESS PNG organization. And I'm so happy with this because I think we will get things done even better in a group and monitoring every fund that will come in. We will manage it properly to get the projects done, and our people will see changes. To do it better in a group is better than to do it individually. So I'm thankful that our leaders came up with this idea to have this passive OBLESS platform for PNG to monitor and scrutinize funding that will come in. And we will get things done, I think, in a better way. And we will see more improvements in our communities and villages. And I'm so thankful for being a founder myself. Thank you for Mati Digamo. He has given us the link to PNG. We love him. He's our godfather. If it was not for Mati Digamo, I don't think we Papua New Guineans would have a chance to become founder with this great movement and company OnPassive, bringing, lifting up humanity in this world. We would have missed out, but thank God. There's no mistake in God. There's always a right timing for right things to happen at the right time and right place. So we thank God for the timing that Mati tapped into PNG to give us the link, and we thank God for that. And that is what I've been having in mind. And I have registered OBLESS Second Chance Foundation with our government. I have registered it as a charity organization to see the OBLESS funds come through to deal with what is happening in town, in the place where I come from. And I'm blessed. Thank you for giving me that chance to talk. That's what I've been looking forward to. And it is a prayer come true, I should say, because me at my own individual level, I couldn't have reached out so many as I wish to, but now with the OBLESS platform, I believe I can reach out to more communities and more people and see people live a better life, give them a second chance to live and improve their livelihood. Thank you. That's all I have to
Thank
say.
you. Thank you, Joanna. Thank you for that wonderful story day. Thank you. Okay, we have Stephen Dua.
Thank you, David.
Okay.
First of all, thank you all leaders from overseas who are with us this afternoon. Welcome to Papua New Guinea webinar. I would like to say something about our education system in the country. Just want to concur with Joan Kilembe on what she said a while ago. Yes, in Papua New Guinea, we lack quality education. We do have a lot of schools, a lot of universities built by our government.
Oh, Stephen, you are cut off.
Stephen, we can't hear you.
Networking. He's frozen.
Hello, Stephen, you there? Okay, he's gone. He'll probably join us shortly. So I have Petrus Akil, you have your hand up. Go ahead and speak.
Thank you, David. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, David. Good afternoon, our PNC leaders. Good afternoon to all our friends internationally. We thank you again for taking your time to join us in Papua New Guinea to especially say the OBLESS. I am personally excited because I registered this company in 2012 to bring water and power back into remote PNG. I had this heart to do this, and I looked around the world to find a company where I can connect to bring what I wanted to do. I eventually found a company in Australia who could provide electricity that would work on sun and the wind. And that system is perfectly suited for our country, where our weather is, we have wet and dry season. And I was so excited that I found this company, and because this is a basic need and basic service that our government should see and provide to 90% of our population who's living in the remote areas. And I brought this, after registering my company, I brought this idea to the members. I knocked on several of the members that I thought who would just be interested to, just walk in and give me the support in funding the services that I wanted to do for the people in the remote areas. And I was just like neglected, they didn't want to even see what I was trying to do. So I was looking around until in 2020, I was fortunate to come, and thank you for my sister Vera, that I got into OnPassive. And one of the products of OnPassive is OBLESS. And, I am ready. I have also been able to find a person who's qualified in water technology, who can test water, who can certify that the water is, edible, that we can drink. And together we are ready to go. I have 6 accounts, and I am ready to go. When OnPassive comes on, and when the apples come in, I am ready to go. I am so blessed. Thank you, S, for making my dream come true. Thank you, Maddie, for bringing it to.
Thank you,
David, I think
Petrus.
you missed it. Okay.
Thank you, Petrus. Okay. All right. Stephen, you're back. Stephen, are you back? All right. We are running with time, so okay. Keep your comments within the time frame of at least 2 minutes, and then we can get as many people to talk. Stephen, yes, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I went off. I think that there was that network problem here. Yes, I resonate with John Killer on the quality of education that we have in our country. Like I come from a Tibet perspective. I'll be talking from a Tibet perspective. We have so many Tibet schools in the country, but our problem is some of our teachers they lack good skills in implementing implementing or departing skills and knowledge to our students. And another thing is we don't have enough tools and materials to teach our students. We have a lot of Tibet schools in the country. That should be enough to cater for our population. But the thing is, we don't have quality teachers. We don't have enough quality materials.
Stephen, can you explain what Tibet is?
Tibet in Papua New Guinea is technical and vocational education. Technical and vocational education. For short, we call it Tibet. We just call it Tibet. Technical vocational education is a form of education that caters for dropouts from a normal system of education. Like when they drop out from grade 10 or grade 12, we take them on board. And we teach them skills. Those skills they can go to the industry and do for a job, or they can help themselves with creating smaller jobs within their communities. Yes. Like I said, we have many schools, but we don't have enough tools and equipment to complete our training. Like we used to, in our schools, we teach them theory, and at the same time, we teach them practical. In practical skills, we need to teach them how to use tools and equipments that go with those skills training. A lot of schools, we are lacking that. So I believe when OBLESS comes on board, some of our funds we can use to buy tools and equipment for those diverse schools in the country. The other thing connected with education, education is unemployment. Most of our graduates nowadays they cannot find job because the kind of skills that they have doesn't match the industry. Maybe it is the lack of training that we give them in our technical schools. Yeah. So if OBLESS can help us, we can use our funding to get more equipments and tools for our technical schools in the country. I'm talking on the technical and vocational education in the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Yes, Stephen is in that vocational training area. So that's where the need is identified that. Thank you, Stephen. Okay, we'll move on. We have Alcatel 1X. Your hand is up. I think it's Mr. Ima. Ima? If you can unmute yourself, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Hello, my boss. Thank you, my leader, my powerful country leader, David Pakau. My name is Pascal Yepin, but I'm using Alcatel X1. So you can see in the phone that Alcatel X1 up. So I'm a founder of OnPassive and Manu at Nuku district in the Papua New Guinea of Sandaun province. I am very happy to you, my leader, to form up our executive on this OBLESS. So I'm very happy when I see this and I hear this in the webinar today. This will help us in the remote area in Nuku. We have need of roads, school infrastructure, hospitals, and other things. So I'm very happy to see this body that form up in Papua New Guinea under your leadership. Thank you, my country leader, David Pakau, and all the others like Veronica and Nancy, and others like Manu, my leader in Nuku. So not much to say, but I just want to say thank you to our powerful CEO, As Mufare, and other LCs like Marty Dikamu and Chris Johnson and Charles Osong and some others that I cannot call, but thank you very much to give me this time to speak on this webinar. Thank you, David Pakau, my country leader.
Thank you, Alcatel 1X. Thank you. Thank you, Straight Long. You talk. Thank you, Long Kamlo Nukul. Miamas lo you talk. You at you look sawe now, so you talk. More kata lain beli milo place to all staff only look him now ourselves. One plarot beli milong talk na discuss him all kind of situation beli mi na imi can bring him senis kami said. So thank you, Long. Come on.
Yes, thank you, sorry, David. Once again, me by talk pisin liglik. Me stop close to long Sipik Waraya, Sipik plan. So this will have place inside the Sipik plan Tamblo Gondano. So year you saw it. You turbo nami nuku so. This Prolhavia all teacher karem kako na walk about all teachers call primary school also kare kako kare very beginning na walk about. Working more Katimol diwai put in time wara tight kalablo diwai na kola upside na kola schools also. We need roads na football housing. Thank you. Thank you. Tulo, you've been forming up this executive plan in the OBLESS. One time this
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Tulo.
all members from outside lo country. Good night, good morning, or good afternoon. Lo you plan and meet talk personally. Thank you very much.
Thank you. He was just explaining that he's from that remote part where Eman is. Eman is the leader there. He comes under Eman, and that part that he is right on the plains and on the edge of the main Sipik River, where we derive our province name from. It's the Sipik River. It's one of the widest river in the world, I think it is. And where I am also, we sort of share the same border down the plains, and he's talking about teachers carrying loads to go down to the school. So he is just talking about roads, if we can build roads into that place when OBLESS comes. So thank you. Yes, we have all this in our radar, so we can be able to plan for these things. Thank you. And I have Mr. Nelson Anebage. I think Nelson is from PNG, but he's probably living outside of the country. Come on, Nelson, you can unmute and speak.
Hi, good afternoon to you all, and may God bless you all. Thank God for Sister Lynn for putting me through here. And by the way, before I start, I just wanted to thank God for David Bakau. As many of you may not know me well, actually, David Bakau is my brother-in-law. He is married to Susan Bakau, who is my first cousin sister. And I thank God for him for the great job that he has done in Papua New Guinea. And I've been watching his videos, and thank God for him. Papua New Guinea will be blessed through Brother David, through our blessed brother, Mr. As Mufare. And I just wanted to say, Papua New Guinea, this is the right place to be. And Papua New Guinea, this is the only place that you can be blessed. All right, let me switch to our language in Papua New Guinea. Those are international friends of the family of OnPassive. God bless in Papua New Guinea. Na trupla road and looking this one trupla man David Bakau. I'm showing now lo place. You may all get a man who said you stop lo 1.5 long province play 1-1. You may say also you may way back long development. Now yes, you may rich country ingat plenty or resources to start. That's all money blow you may lo government come inside. Emingo lo kan road na you may say plan development come finish. That's all mila to also God Papa lo heaven. I mean salim this blessing through long. Mr. As Mufare, he come through. Now this blessing can come through long. Mr. David Bakau. Now you mean who said man lo place. You mean look lo this man look them also. Anyone block pillar block country. Who said by steering you looking life. Even also online you play you mean come inside also member yet. Please me advise me plug close to by this road bypass or symbolic column foundation and bypass. Now you mean say when can talk by tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday by Mr. As Mufare by talk sound you me all get. Now me talk you play Mr. Housing. Me operated last week Thursday. Now only cut me umbilical cord from me, tassel God good follow me, now Mr. Apply. Now me like looking this is a blessing. This is something only call him OBLESS. You me all get mas sana point them na support him one thing na talk pizza Mr. David Bakau and Redim lo yumi lo Putin or resources lo yumi lo OBLESS. Now look him country lo yumi. He must move ahead. Yes, even though yumi looking all politician the yumi stop. Well, I'm all right. Papa got him making all stop for this area. Lo bring him some development. But praise God to our living creator, God above, who has blessed us through this man, Mr. As Mufare. Right now, David Bakau and Makim Yumi, Makim Em lo bless. Lo yumi okata masare mouse. No one think of emi gaman something or emi kat kakokal or se musa calling people sel kakokal long bound to room lo yangoru before. This is like emi na kakokal pe yangoru. Okay, before some yumi talk, Matisel one bring him kakoigam. Now no got thinking. This is all bless here. I'm studying come long God Papa Anta become lo yumi. Now this problem David Bakau, you can look him. I'm going to make him long bring him this life. He come inside lo yumi through lo brother as Mufare. Lo look him walk. He go ahead. Schools, hospitals, road, power, housing, water, all this plus something. Yumi stand up one them, contribute one them. Look him all this blessing all over the half. Thank you. Long give him this legally time. Long put him talk person come inside. The God bless him all kata all brother na susap lo Papua New Guinea. Thank you long sister Lynn Nakamoto usat and put him. Thank you for sister Lynn Nakamoto for allowing me to be here. God bless you all.
Thank you, Nelson. Okay, our time is catching up. So we have Bat Mio, and then we have Nancy, and then I'll give the honor to Julie Nguyen to round it up for us. Thank you. Hello, Bat. Go ahead. Unmute.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, but we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Bartholomew Mio, and I'm from Kimbe, Western Britain province, one of the 22 provinces in Papua New Guinea. Okay, I would like to acknowledge the presence of all our international committee who are taking part in this webinar. 1, 2, our leaders in Papua New Guinea who have been working tirelessly to take OnPassive on board. Thank you once again. Bami topu sinikle pastem. David, thank you. Thank you for the leaders with me. Long kama Mr. OnPassive in Papua New Guinea. Milak salim sa to kamas kam yumi kam kusu finish lo time lo yumi lo harvest. One of something you can look in lo own observation lo mi lo throughout lo Papua New Guinea na tulo province yumi lo Western Britain is the lack of infrastructure projects where go come up no place or villages with me. Mr. One thing PNG power lo 11 la here. You work one thing PNG power. Milusi PNG power na now Mr. Mi work lo working more legal work one thing line lo ESIP, empowering social infrastructure projects and then it lo OC. Only funding through long projects same all solars, all sanitation, all this la. Clean water sanitation, and this la. But our projects is I got all funding when funding is available, then project is on. When we just go out na helping lo put more solar or allow solar lo one communities, make sure all widows, all line lo place, all disabled, all this line you got all houses. They have to have access to those solar kits, lo allow so. So me play finish more sample lo work project finish na me come start na me looking more sem. And one opportunity way. So excuse me. When it comes to OBLESS, na you got this la foundation where all leaders you go pass you like building. And one plan all this la all one all thinking where you play putting where me like acknowledge him. Me ama mas lo sa thinking me putting mo sa tani lo OBLESS where you may can walk one time, na stop one time. Kisi funding na something nga tani lo OBLESS lo helping mo line lo place more long. Establishing more sa kanol or projects you go place so that they can help you more. One what me would like to mention me mo sem lo plenty of projects where you come on lo DSIP na PSIP and then it lo government do you me. Most of the projects have not been reached by our local people at home where you know what you miss along. Plenty of geographical area where the projects cannot reach them, so most of the funds have been diverted to the logistics and whatever. Liklik long come up on them contract we like go build. by plenty of projects incomplete. Kind of an example, classrooms, housing, all this lah. So when we have OBLESS in place, I think that's where you can so small funds now working good, have accountability of it. Now all this is something where leadership go past now work one time so that you can work hand to hand. Either to running misla OBLESS parallel one time when of projects to government or it's more landing place. I think I'm just from Migado to progress. Thank you. Thank you local international committees with me well take what one day you meet. Now Lord thank you.
Thank you, Bart. Thank you. Okay, Nancy, you can talk now. You explain him lo English lo one something but talk long so at least I'm clear more line blaming.
Okay, thank you. Bart was just saying, he was just talking about how right now he's working with but are you working with the Australian?
PNG Power.
Right, yeah.
No, he was working with PNG Power first, but now he's working with.
Yes, I'm engaged with ESIP, Empowering Social Infrastructure Projects, and OSAID.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Bart is currently working with a Australian-funded company, and they're bringing solar panels into villages and trying to help people, basically to bring electricity. Prior to that, he was working with PNG Power, the main power supply for the country. But unfortunately, in Papua New Guinea, we are yet to see electricity into every community. This year we are going 47 years old, I think, 47 independent. And we are yet to see our communities live in, light, clean electricity. And when we talk about electricity going into our villages, my thought is on clean electricity, like what we've heard with Johnson the other day. That's what I want to see. I want to see clean electricity, clean water systems into our communities. Okay, a lot of them have been talking about the schools and hospitals and all that. I want to bring to attention that Papua New Guinea is an agriculture-based country or nation. We have lots of natural resources in our country, like mining is a big thing in our country as well. And we have, what I want to see through OBLESS is, like right now, when we harvest our timber, not us Papua New Guineans, but there are companies here on the ground that are harvesting our timbers, and these timbers are going raw to other countries. And they can make it into all sorts of things. They can build it into all sorts of things, houseware, building roads, all sorts, and they're making more and more than what they're living back in the country. So I want to be able to see OBLESS coming in to help us build infrastructure that can process our natural resources in our own country, instead of seeing our gold exported overseas, instead of seeing our gas going overseas, our oil going overseas. Like on a national level, I want to see how best we can help PNG retain back everything that is natural resources in this country and produce it so that all the money stays in the country and build the country. That's the reason why we're having unemployment. We have lots and lots of graduates from universities with degrees and masters, but they cannot find a job because there is no job available for them. They have the qualification, but there is no work for that qualification. So I want to see OBLESS coming in this, I'm talking nationally, PNG-wide, like I want to see us be able to literally build the down processing infrastructure in our country so we can process it here and give back jobs, like even right now, jobs that are reserved for Papua New Guinea, for Papua New Guineans are given to foreigners, given to Asians, basically. It's given to Chinese and Filipinos, Indians, Bangladesh. and they're coming and they're getting all these, little businesses that is meant for Papua New Guineans. There are businesses that meant for foreigners, foreign investment, and there are also businesses that is below certain amount of Papua New Guinean currency that is reserved for Papua New Guineans. Unfortunately, it's not handing up in the hands of Papua New Guineans. So I want to be able to see OBLESS empowering us, founders, giving us the power to build resource centers in our country. To be able to, like right now in Papua New Guinea, there are many foreigners buying off land. I'm talking about owning the land, buying off the land in Papua New Guinea. And when they begin to buy off the land and begin to build up infrastructure, everything that comes into the land comes through their services, whatever, is going back to their country. It's not staying in. The money that is coming in, like right now, transactions that goes on in the supermarkets, in the stores that are owned by foreigners, all these monies are not banked in our local bank. You see, it's not, the money is not here. That's why we have cash, less cash in the bank. And on a fortnight, you see people lining up at the ATM machines, and they can line up for like 3, 4, 5 days before they get their money. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. And we cannot allow this thing to continue on. We got to take back our land. We got to take back our resources. So I see that OnPassive with OBLESS, we can literally build the infrastructure right here on a national scale. And we've got some prime lands right now. I think I did say something a little bit to Mati on that in the city right now, that if we can look into it and get hold of some of the land through OBLESS, through Mr. Batao, through OnPassive, like it's something outside of it we can discuss later, but I see there's land already here that we should not let this go. We should not let it go into the hand of somebody's gonna rip us off, rip this nation off. And we are literally seeing there's a rip off right in the government. We just watched the government had a sitting on a big issue nationwide, and as such how much the money has left the country because they wanted to get a generator, something into the country to power the entire nation. But billions have left, and they're talking about it, and they're all, all kinds of crazy stuff are happening. But I want to see this. I want us OnPassive and the OBLESS platforms to help us build the infrastructure right there. If we can get a land right now, I believe this foundation that we are talking about, the OBLESS Foundation in PNG, with the approval and of course with the recommendation of Mr. Ash, with you, Chris, with Marty and Mr. Ash, and maybe with Mr. Batao, to sit down, because we are serious. PNG, we are serious. We are sick and tired already of seeing our people, seeing our mothers struggle. Our mothers, they're so innovative. They can make money, but if they can own a small store that an Asian is, owning right now, man, we already empowering our women in this way. And so there's so much things that I want to say. I want to see mining process here, and maybe 80% of the money remaining back here in our country. And so I believe with this, the OnPassive being the correction to corruption, we can literally see it happen here. It's not going to happen overnight, obviously, because there's so many forces, everywhere, and everybody wants something from you. When you try to, in PNG, when you try to do something, you have to go and see this person, that person, and everybody wants a share in it. But we are believing for a clean business, and we're trying to change the tide right now, because currently we have so many educated, highly trained people in our country that can literally take back this nation if we can be able to empower this majority of workforce, the intelligence, the intellect of our nation that are here, that, even the foreigners are even buying them off. They're putting extra monies in their pocket to give them licenses, to give them work permits, and they don't come in the right way. So I literally want to see OBLESS bring a clean blessing to the nation by building in the infrastructure. And I want to see OBLESS coming in, and I want to see PNG exporting. That is my desire. That is my vision. OBLESS coming in, PNG exporting. We're going to export to the nation. We have the best cocoa. We have the best coffee. We now in Bougainville province produces some of the best chocolates. We have in the highlands grapes. So we can produce the best wine and start to export our commodities from this nation out. I want to see the resources going out from this nation, and the money, like I said, when OBLESS comes, PNG, we have to export. So that is what I want to throw to all of us. And back to you, Chris, and to Mati, and take it upwards with Mr. Bakau and discuss on the national, the top level, and then get back to us simple people. We're ready to drive the vision down. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Bakau.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for that. Yes, I certainly agree with you on that. You've touched on a lot of things, and these are things that we can discuss in-house later. But the outline or the framework is currently being put in place, but I want to just thank all of us who are here, my fellow founders from overseas who are here. This is what we are basically discussing, what's happening in PNG we want to do, and hopefully you can get a glimpse of what our views are and what we want to do with OBLESS. And I hope what we have shared has also helped some of you to be able to look at what you can do in your community or your locality. Thank you very much. And I'd like to call on Julie. Julie, if you have something to say and encourage us on, you can speak.
Absolutely, David, thank you so much. And yes, if you have heard, everyone who are currently listening, that is the vision that Nancy here has put it out, and many leaders in Papua New Guinea are putting it out there so that we all can understand the situations there. But you know, I believe in OnPassive with all my heart, and I also believe that Papua New Guinea is very special. Not only special to the world, special to Mr. Ash, special to all the founders across the world. And so everything that you are going through, that you're experiencing right now, and just being here watching you, all the leaders in Papua New Guinea and all the friends that I was very fortunate to connect in the past year, I see the unity. I see that you are all working together to carry out that vision. And believe it or not, we can make that happen. Not only, I believe strongly in all of our leaders and all of our friends in Papua New Guinea, not only just in Papua New Guinea, I believe the whole entire world is going to put their hands in to actually make that happen, because I see that Papua New Guinea not only rich in resources, but rich in love and rich in unity as well. And so it does vibrate across the world. And that's why one of the reasons why so many of us want to be in the Papua New Guinea webinar, because that's where we see the inspirations, and that's where we see the love that comes out. How many people in Papua New Guinea in the past year passed away, and their legacy will be carried on, and especially Susan Bakau. Of what she had done, and Fred Lavalsky and everybody have been doing in the past year because of OnPassive, because they see the light, because they see the beacon of hope. If you are currently watching right now, especially if you are in Papua New Guinea, I encourage you to please reach out to all that share OnPassive with you, because you can make the change, not only in your life, you're going to change your family, your neighbor, your community, and you can make the change in your country as well. I believe that Papua New Guinea will be the greatest country, and it will rock. And I'm so looking forward to meet all of my friends, my brothers and sisters in Papua New Guinea, and so do so many people, so many founders that are listening to this, because you are very special. So if the conversations that we share here And if you understand a little bit about OBLESS and what Chris spoke earlier today, please get back with the person who shared OnPassive with you. I believe that it's going to change. It's going to make the biggest impact in your life. Thank you so much, David, Nancy, Veronica, and everyone, all the leaders in Papua New Guinea. Allow all of us, the international friends, founders, to join your webinar. It's very inspirational. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you. And with that, I'd like to, all of us, we can unmute and we can close it off here by saying bye-bye. We'll catch up in our next webinar. And thank you everyone for turning up tonight, this afternoon, this morning. Thank you for tuning in from all over the world, wherever you are. Thank you so much.
Hi, David.
Hi.
Good night, everyone.
Hi, David.
Good night.
Good night.
Julie.
Good night.
Night, everybody. Good
Bye.
night. Good
Bye, everyone.
night. Good
David.
night.
Bye,
Bye.
Have a blessed
Bye.
See you
night.
again.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
It's not
night.
here.
Thank you,
Good night.
Chris. Thank you, Chris.
Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Bye, Nadia. Bye.
Bye, Miss Lynn.